A shallow sleep eventually overtook Helen's mind, but her brain never stopped working. She often slept in shorter chunks but rarely got bothered by dreams. Tonight, however, the images came back. That was the first time after weeks of not seeing them at night. As usual, they were dancing around her, a strange moving formation created by the little snippets of their performances she has seen. Their bodies all so grotesque, their movements coordinated but almost involuntary, faces focused and eyes pinned to the circus center, to Helen. She soon realized it was only a dream but couldn't escape its claws. The scene started to speed up, and bodies bled into a large tunnel of shallow breaths and painful moans. Then they lit up, beginning with the mild glow of a single limb to blinding beams of fiery bodies. Their skin became see-through, almost like hot lava was floating beneath it. They slowed down again, and Helen started to notice their faces more. But at this point, many of them have fallen to the ground, tangled in their own limbs, moaning and shaking, still a part of the exhibition, still playing their role, remaining strangely beautiful as their own light illuminated the gravel around them. The music stopped. Helen never noticed it starting. She could not pinpoint the source or identify the song. Silence took over, and the world around slowly came to a halt. She regained control of her limbs, stuck in a museum of shining figurines. Mesmerized, she was still more scared than fascinated, and headed away from the scene to the darkness beyond it. Counterintuitively, the lack of light meant safety in this twisted reality. She was keen on jumping over the edge and leaving the view behind when something stopped her. A hand holding her ankle, illuminating her burning skin. She tried to scream, but the void immediately filled her mouth. They were never able to move, not at this stage of the dream, not any time before. She followed the deformed arm to a face staring at her. The liquid behind the cheeks made it difficult to identify the elderly woman, a familiar face. Not a friend, not a family member or a celebrity. A face she used to see regularly, but no longer was a part of her life. The woman on the ground opened her mouth, gesturing with pain in her eyes. Helen bent over to get a better view, but jumped back as the entire body burst into flames, sinking into the gravel alongside the other creatures. The fingers around her ankle loosened, and Helen instinctively removed her leg from reach of the surprisingly cold flames. The darkness again became the savior and only threat, allowing for the jolting transition from her dream to the dim reality of the bedroom. Helen sat on the bed and her feet touched the cold floor. The flat was dark and silent. Walking down the hall, she noticed the door to Nora's room was closed. They rarely closed. Her granddaughter once panicked, feeling trapped, and they kept all the bedroom doors mostly open since. Moving slowly to eliminate as many noises as possible, she twisted the doorknob and pushed the door ajar. Her controlled moves lost direction when her eyes recognized the empty bed beneath the closed window. Nora was gone.